The button has been pushed. Hello and welcome. What's up, guys? We're coming to you live from day 2 at RockyGrass here in Lyons, Colorado. As you've seen, we've had a bunch of amazing people that we've had the chance to sit and talk with, but we wanted to bring you more than just the musicians, more than just the festivarians. I was super lucky to be able to connect with this man on my right, and I want to talk to you a little bit about the magic behind the scenes that we don't know, and there's no one better than Eric Abramson to talk about this. What's going on, Eric?
Well, I will say there are a lot of people who probably haven't, but I appreciate it. Yeah,
well, not for me. Great. They don't want to talk to me, Eric. So you're the one that gave me the shot. So you're the best.
They're smart, or I'm crazy, or both.
Or I just finagled you into it some way.
Well, I appreciate you having me on.
No, I appreciate you, man. Because for those of you that don't know, you are essentially, are you the head stagehand?
No. Me and Red are the stagehands.
Okay.
We have Zach that helps us out a little bit, so there's 3 of us.
Perfect.
Red's really the boss, but we don't let him pick.
Yeah, but you're the boots on the ground, okay?
We both are, yeah. There's a lot of black ops and mission specialists and stuff going on.
And as you can see, they don't go high vis. They're all dressed in black. They're like the ninjas of stage,
yeah,
right?
A little bit. We try to be careful. The rules are don't break anything, don't bump into anybody, and certainly don't fall off.
And I break all of those rules every night. So, so what I want to talk about is what goes into setting up a stage and all of the operations that come to putting on a festival.
Well, I come from a film business, so that's really where most of my production experience is. But I came up and lived up in San Diego. I got kidnapped early on in the early days, which I think we're going to talk about a little after this. But basically, there's several jobs on the stage. A bunch of engineers, mixing and making sure the system's
and those are like audio engineers or like techs, right? It's all like all the fancy wires. And
yeah, and so there's that crew is making sure that everything's working. And then you got a few that are really managing the switch over, like where the microphones are. Stagehands are kind of there to move stuff.
Yep.
But also, I take on certain duties. Like one of my absolute favorite things to do is we don't really, we discourage a lot of the smells on the stage. And we give everyone musicians that's on the stage a really nice mug. We put filtered water in it. So I get to give that gift on stage. On stage, we make sure they have towels. It's little details like, oh, you guys need some tables for that stuff. Oh, I need something with my fiddle on. So the stagehands kind of feel like,
yeah, but you guys are also the ones that are coming in after things have happened to get ready for the next one.
We're always on deck, and like one of us is watching the stage all the time, and it's something that happens during the show.
Yep.
But then the main thing is the changeover. And there's a lot of moving parts. So there's switching over the patching. There's the new microphones in place. Oh, this instrument goes to a DI. Oh, and one of my jobs with Red is the background. So sometimes a bass player will come and he'll need a bass and a bass tank. So we have that for them.
Okay.
We have some guitars.
Do they ever give you guys that stuff ahead of time? Like, hey, here's the inputs that we need. This is what's going on. You're making a checklist like, oh, okay, the frontliners are coming on. They need this, and that, or whatever it may be.
We have these stage plots. And most of the bands get them to us in advance. Sometimes not. Sometimes not.
Sometimes the
fans get your stuff to the crew early.
I'm gonna say it the right way. Get your shit together. Help Eric help you, okay?
Yeah, totally. Good pro tip from the stage crew. No, so yeah, we have that information, and Skip runs the stage. He's the stage man for all of our bosses. That's really his thing. Okay. He's getting that information.
Coordinating and talking to whoever is part of the band.
I need to know, right? So I can put the tables in the right place. Yep. So does Justin, and he needs to put the mic.
For sure.
So it's a lot of moving parts, which is cool.
But also, you can be prepared, and that doesn't mean that that's what happens in that moment, right? I always talk about oh shit moments with bands, but for you, like, that's literally your life, right?
In other world, as a firefighter, we have a plan there that if you make a plan, you can break it. If you don't have a plan, it's just chaos.
Yeah.
And so, there's a lot of planning and things come up, and that's partly why a lot of us like this one, because it is a lot of on your feet thinking, problem solving.
Well, you have to be quick, right? And it makes sense that you're a firefighter because it is an emergency response, right?
It's different, but it has different, like I've talked to Skip about it. Like our core crew works on very large shows like this Super Bowl halftime.
Oh, wow.
Airleagues. Like Skip and the guys from New York, that's what they do.
Okay, I did not realize that. That's insane.
Pretty, yeah.
I knew Planet Bluegrass was the big boys, but those are like
But what's cool is Skip, the stage manager, he came up starting here as a low-on member. He's now at the top of the game as far as television.
Yeah.
What that brings to us, though, is like this precision. we're never really late because you don't tell a worldwide TV audience, oh, sorry, we're going to be 5 minutes late. Like, so that's what I'm circling back to. It's like this thing of the consequences here aren't like a fire.
No, for sure.
The consequences is being late and not giving a band their full time on stage and not having them feel comfortable and give their best performance. So having this professional crew, and it starts at skin with the whole crew, is really well accommodating, make sure they have everything they need to succeed on.
But just like you said, you can have a plan, but that doesn't mean that
Yeah.
things don't happen. So how long have you been working with the RockyGrass crew specifically?
Well, it's interesting. I started here as a volunteer entertainer at a camp, and after a few years, I kind of took over managing it. And I did it for a bunch of years, and I kind of brought the festival culture into that.
Okay.
How more things work.
You knew that there's a different vibe to festivals,
Because I came up with Salmon. We started that band literally in the town park, right? That's where
So let's talk about that area.
Yeah.
So how did that happen? Town Park, for those of you that don't know, is the headquarters of Telluride and RockyGrass
part of
Festival.
it. You're going to see a lot of great documentaries and live footage of all these modern performances, but the real story of Telluride and RockyGrass is in that town.
And that's the community, right?
Yeah.
Like that is
So-
literally where it is.
Yeah.
And you have campgrounds that are themed. Everybody has like a drink that they have at their spot. You're like,
It's certain people's, like, they start off and Tom is no longer with us, the unofficial mayor. He passed this year, but he would get up on a ladder at the beginning of the festival and then there were rumble.
yep,
So every camp has their culture.
yeah,
And the original camps, that doesn't really exist anymore, was Camp Howdy.
okay.
And I had met Vincent before. It was Salmon Heads and Left Hand Street Band. And
Yep.
both these bands were awesome.
Yeah.
And then I got to know both the guys just through the community. I was a photographer. I shoot pictures.
Eric, what don't you do?
I don't sit around and do something I don't want to do.
That's what's up.
That's what I do.
That's what's
Oh,
up.
have fun, man.
So you were just taking some photos?
So I was in the community already. I've been working in music. My own music photography in New York.
Okay.
I meet
Oh, wow.
craft musicians.
That's awesome. So you got a lot of insight from that.
Yeah, I knew, and I just started shooting pictures and the clubs and stuff. So I got to know Vincent. Anyway, I came up here with some college buddies, and that was a first Telluride in '86. Again, I want to have a disclaimer. I'm going to screw up the years a little bit. It's all the years combined, they melt into a drink.
Listen, this is not the
Okay.
Super Bowl echelon
Okay.
of podcast,
Good.
okay?
Good. Perfect. So anyway, I think it was
Ballparks, windows, those work
so
for us.
87, a couple friends, we came up, like 4 of us in a car to Telluride and RockyGrass. We were going to see Strength in Numbers. We had just seen the new grass, it was 2 years before
That's
that.
awesome.
So I was getting into bluegrass then through the Grateful Dead.
So it fed you from the dead scene.
Yeah, totally.
You saw new grass.
Wait, one of those deadheads.
Yes,
right?
let's go. Ooh, Peter Rome plays tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm one of those deadheads that knew about bluegrass music, but really started to explore it when I was exposed to what Jerry was doing.
And I mean, Jerry is a gateway drug, right?
Totally. And years later, I got to be involved in this museum project that was Jerry Bluegrass Journey.
That's why.
In Owensboro. Anyway, so back to '87. So I show up.
You had a couple college buddies.
Yeah.
You're like, hey,
So,
you,
to lay it out.
So had you like heard about? Because this is
Yeah.
like pre-internet, pre-all
Oh,
this
yeah.
stuff, right? Like,
No, I heard it was
it's
a
word
cool,
of
it
mouth.
was a cool festival. A lot of people in Boulder were involved. I had gotten to know a promoter down there who did shows in town, Fred Shulman. So I was aware of what was going on. We decided to come up. We're all music heads and climbers, mountain bikers. Like, cool, we'll go to Telluride.
It's everything we're looking for.
And so just to lay it out for people, the town park is at the end of town, the east end of town. It's a box canyon, so you have to be going to Telluride.
Yep.
There's no like driving.
One way in, one way out.
So at the end of this thing is this big ball, multi-purpose field. There's a permanent stage now.
Yep.
And then the other part of that park is all campsites. And we take that
And it starts the week before.
week before people are there, right? It's amazing. And so it's just this gathering of people. So anyway, I show
It's
up.
literally the headquarters of the community,
It
right?
is. It's the heart of the festival. I mean,
1,000%.
what goes on stage is magic on the main stage, but it really is that campground. They pick all night. It's just us.
Yeah, for sure.
Some of the best music I've really heard, it has nothing to do with the main stage. And it's
No.
okay.
Yeah, it just comes from people picking.
So we're walking through, and back then it wasn't all tight. You just got your tickets and you went in there first come, first serve. So we showed a couple days.
It wasn't the mad dash and
No, it's
getting
hard.
your side raffles
It's hard.
and all this nonsense. Yeah.
Hippies don't keep good secrets.
No. That's
So,
a great quote.
but I like Mark Good Times. The mayor of Telluride told me that. That's why all the Colorado towns are not what they.
No, and that's really what I wanted to chat with you
Yeah.
about is like this evolution. But,
Yeah.
but let's get back to this.
Yeah,
So,
so
so
87, I
87.
pull into camp, and the first person I see is Vince sitting there in a lawn chair. I'm like, hey man, He's like, oh yeah, camp with us. That was Camp Howdy. Started it like that year.
That's wild.
And so back then there was no.
And Vince is no fun at all.
Vince does not have any fun. He's a terrible person to hang out with.
Yeah.
No
He's
joy
a
whatsoever.
bad influence.
Sarcasm.
Super depressing.
Yeah.
My gosh, no.
So we started camp, and that year we all just had a great time. We're going to the festival. Some of us are working, some of us aren't. Having a good time. I wasn't working.
Was it still 3 days back then?
Oh yeah. No, it was 4. Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, it was 4. Thursday through Sunday.
That started, yeah. So anyway, we had a great time. Next year, Camp Howdy. We put a ton of bacon. We will ragers. We pick all night. It was one of the better picks in the camp. I mean, you'll get an argument with that. But
Everybody's pick is the best pick. We know. Don't have
the
it.
thing that kind of happened was that we got a night gig for the band at that time, right? And so they either put together a thing. But the way it started was, and this was the first year, I was camping with Vince at Camp Howdy. And Vince goes to the judges for the band contest and says, well, how many people can I have in the band? Well, they're thinking, 3, 5, whatever. 15 people got on stage and did Rocky Top.
No shit.
It was totally ridiculous. We did not get last. We got second to last. That year, Mark Mann had come out from the East Coast. He didn't know the guys.
Okay.
And he won the banjo contest. He saw the shenanigans.
Of the 15 of you guys
Yeah,
out there?
he said basically the person like, who are those guys and where are they camping? And he showed up at camp. And that year was when those guys first played. About, a year later, 2 years later, left over.
That's wild. But that's literally what's so great about this community and these opportunities is the culture in the community.
People still, Vince, we have in my film about Leftover Salmon called Years in Your Ears, there's a segment that talks about the festival.
Oh, no, we all know.
It comes from a Star Trek episode, original series. Right?
I did not know that.
Yeah. Turn of the Arcan. The festival is coming. Are you here for the festival? So anyway,
That's amazing. How did I not know that?
it's in my film. I'll have to get
Well,
you.
I will need to watch a copy and hopefully we can share it with some folks.
So anyway, we started the festival yell just to analyze people. Like,
Because I mean,
the culture.
Vince yelling that is literally like iconic, right? Like it's
I can be at a festival and Vince is nowhere around. I go, festival,
and everybody knows. Yes, they,
So we were part of like this early wild culture out there of like shenanigans.
of the foundation of what became.
And it basically, what would happen is the band would go get a night gig in town, back at 4 in the morning, raging, and wake everybody up.
Yeah.
We got yelled at.
That's the way it should be.
It was freaking awesome. Yeah, people were telling legendary stories, and then Craig Ferguson would come to me, the boss of the festival, be like, "What were you guys doing last night? What were we doing?"
Exactly.
So anyway, it was fun to kind of come up with the guys, and eventually, of course, they got a lot of traction. We're starting to play the main stage. And the thing about Leftover is that what I learned, they kidnapped me on the road for a couple years in the early days.
So is that kind of how you broke into the scene? Was from playing with them?
And I'd been working in music at a pretty high level as a camera assistant.
So you had already been doing like the photography stuff,
and some concert films. Like I used to work on metal and music.
Nice. So you were doing a lot of videography and photography.
Yeah, so music was my passion. So this was my family I finally found.
Yeah.
I was a deadhead. Like I chased the great better up.
For sure.
And it was awesome. Jerry Band was one of my favorite things ever.
How could it not be?
And it was just insane. And I feel honored to be alive during that time.
Yeah.
And
get
really
that
psyched
chance.
that people get to experience it now. I don't really go to Dead Company. It's no judgment. It's just
No, it's different.
It's just different, but I'm stoked that the thing is moving.
I always tell people that one of my most proud moments is that my oldest daughter can differentiate between Jerry and the Dead and Dead and Co.
It's an evolution.
Yeah, it's a different sound.
And all music is that.
So let the music play, right? And you can continue to interpret it as you want. But like those foundational years of what Jerry did, and then branching off because the Dead are blowing up, and he's like, no, I want something more. I want to do something different. He started his side projects to pull off that banjo, to have some of this fun and start picking. And
I was a banjo player at heart, right? And I learned that working on the museum project. And the thing I've talked to English about, just with Salmon the other day, was Jerry kind of passed just as people were developing like the electric banjo. And I really wish you'd gotten to see what like Mark Mann was doing, what Dave Johnson and And when Andy Thorne is doing now, like I think it would blow his mind because ultimately he picked the electric guitar, I think, because he knew
He needed that sound, yeah. And
your audience.
Yeah.
But if he'd seen the electric band, we all had trouble.
oh God, with AI, the power, I'm sure some asshole out there. Can
So, but it, to go circle back to Telluride a bit, like it's sort of cool to watch a band like kids with a level of success on it was born out of festival.
Because that was before the amateur contest, right?
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, there was.
Well, no, they had band contests back then because part.
Yes,
Yeah,
I guess you're right.
yeah.
But wasn't it more instrumental?
There was no night.
Yeah, there was no after shows after the festival's over. It was at this campsite.
Yeah, the festival figured out we were out there chilling in the bar every night.
And they're like, we want some of that money.
And that's all good, man. But I love the formalities of it. It's really fun. Like 3 years down the road, Sam's just packing a night crafts, and we're still out here rocking. No, the thing about those guys, I agree with this. Like the thing I learned being on the road, being on the road is really hard. And people see the party, like the East End on the road, like it's Friday night for everybody and Monday morning for us. But I try to remind people that, like, it takes a lot of dedication to get to a level. Like, there's a reason boys drink so long. It isn't just chance. And I'm really proud to see that. I really like people supporting real music.
For sure.
It isn't like, I love, all kinds of genres, but I thought that acoustic music was going to start taking it down. It is.
Well, now I would say that it's the biggest it's ever been, right?
Yeah.
Because of some of these acts, like Billy, like just brought it to a whole new level.
Yeah.
But with that, it then started to get people to start exploring more and seeing what was going on, looking at some of these foundational
Like
acts.
Jerry did for me.
Exactly, and that's what's so cool. And I've talked with a bunch of bands over this weekend of being like, what you guys don't realize is like all these bands that you were looking up to and talking to, now you're becoming those bands, right? And these younger generations are going to look at people like East Nashgrass and some of these folks and be like, man, I saw these guys playing and I just, like Corey Walker, like any of this stuff, you start to feel this connection and you see that it gets passed on to these generations. But that's why I want to talk about like the festival and the evolution from like the 80s and then also like transcending, because for me, I've done 15 Tellurides, right? And RockyGrass, I've only done this twice. And this second time is strictly on a media pass, so it's night and day difference from what I used to. But even RockyGrass to Telluride, there's some similarities, but there's a huge difference too, right? They have the academy for the whole week coming up into here, and you have some of the best. Sam Grissman is teaching stand-up bass, right? You got Dominic, who is teaching the youngins mandolin, right? It's
On
like,
stage right now?
yes, and it's so cool, right? But like for me, what I wanted to talk about is behind the scenes. How did it feel as it starts growing? How do you keep the brand and that feeling, that community feeling alive? But also, like, as these acts are getting bigger, we have some huge names that come through here, right? And so how does that evolution go for you guys as a community, but also for you as the behind the scenes guys, right?
Well, the thing is, the music is a weave, right? Any good music genre, like, it's all the ones that aren't maybe as long-term and those that are like a period of where the music that we use really powerful. And it requires a lot of people to do that and all that. But when I first started going to Telluride, and I came to this festival early on with Salmon, very early on, I think it was '94. Mark sat and played banjo with his songs. So all of us came to watch them.
That's
It was like,
insane. Yeah,
Mark's up there.
we're talking about Olden Way, and now he's playing with Peter.
I saw a lot of those circles close for Salmon. That's the biggest changes I've seen is all the circles. Right? And for me, like, this is truly a camp reunion every year. I think that most of my crew likes about this is it's a little smaller.
What's the capacity here? 4,500?
Yes.
Somewhere around that?
The thing is,
And Telluride's what? Almost 9? Is
Yeah.
it 7? Oh, really? They've made it big. I know they keep.
it's a lot of people, but it's different. We have the river runs through here, and the energy.
They can see it.
And you can swim here, you can feel it. You can sit in the river and watch.
You can float the river. I mean, what's beautiful is I can send my kids on a tube and float 5 minutes down to the family campsite, right? Like, it's cool. But that's what's so beautiful is it's so welcoming to families, right? Like, yes, we as adults we can go and rage and have fun.
People can do their
We go camp.
Kids are safe. That's all.
And that's what I love is the family present, right? Because for me, it's hard because like I want to introduce my kids to music because I love it so much. We also want to do it responsibly, right? I can't go and bring them to Town Park and rage for 4 days and hope that they get out alive, right? But that's where I can come here. I can go to family camping. I myself can go to these picks till 3 in the morning, come back to quiet time and be the idiot that gets yelled at for being too loud and fall asleep. But it's so conducive to like the family connecting with friends, and it's the community. That's what I love about Planet Bluegrass is they have focused so much on our community and harboring the community as a whole. I feel like not only do they take care of the fans and the artists, but they're taking care of folks like you, the volunteers. They make it a point to make sure that we're leaving happy and recharged and rejuvenated after this.
Well, I mean, this whole, entity started with Fred Sheldon, right? And David Thunder and his hippie and firefighter and they were doing it for the heart, right? And I think that's what we saw, but that's the word. It wasn't like, hey, we're gonna make a bunch of money on this music. It was, let's get our friends together.
Yeah, for sure.
So it started with that intent. And then as the generation and Craig eventually started playing bluegrass, that took the MD into a more official, less hippie operation, more business operation.
Got to be able to pay for it.
It happens a lot more. It happens a lot when that happens. And it loses its heart.
Yeah.
Craig.
Well, people talk about selling out all the time, right?
And Craig as a crew really, I watched it happen. I watched this transition happen. And what Craig and the new crew did was they acknowledged and kept that practice. And they also, how do we make this global? Right? How do we make it so...
Like sustainable. So you're talking about the recycling, the water options.
You're never going to get to 0%. But as far as festivals go, we're really making efforts to do that. And that is used too. Like, this isn't just a money thing. You sell a bunch of tickets to a field. It's this experience that we all share.
Well, that's what I love because I'll take a picture of the field after the show tonight, and normally you go to these festivals and it is just full of trash.
And there'll be stuff.
Yeah,
be river rocks.
Yeah, there will be river rocks to hold your tarp, but that's a whole nother thing. It's like the tarp run and some of that stuff. All of this came from the podcast. That is. Came from some viral moments where like I folded a poster, I threw a chair because I didn't like what was happening in our scene, right? I wanted to start a conversation, so I did some stupid shit on the internet to get eyes on the question, right? And it's funny because like people will give me shit all the time because they see it because I film the tarp runs, and I am a avid tarp runner, right? Although I'm a fat guy, I spend my time in early. The lowest I've ever gotten at Telluride is number 7. Here they do it a little bit different at RockyGrass. So instead of waiting between 5 and 8 and getting a random number like you do at Telluride, around midnight you line up and then they just give out random numbers up to like 1,500. And it doesn't matter what time, where you're at in place. It is literally luck of the draw.
So can I tell you a little secret? So in the old days with Grateful Dead, Willie was on the West Coast. He's in the Grateful Dead with me, dressed in a Thorman outfit.
Okay.
He had a system to line everybody up, and it was just based on playing cards. So you didn't really know what the hell.
Okay.
But if you were friendly to Will and really liked you,
You take care of you.
so what he did is he would pick a suit for the day and say, okay, today diamonds are coming first. He would pick a game.
Yeah.
I saw some of that going on, some of the miracling going on.
For sure.
When I ran the bed tent, they would come and sort the numbers, and I would always get a couple of like sub 20.
Nice.
I would hold on to them. I'd walk through the crowd.
Find the one that deserves it.
Yes, someone that was bumming or like, oh man, my wife's gonna kill me. I got 1,800.
Yes.
And I'd come up and go, you want to trade? And look at me, kind of suspiciously. I don't have a radio.
Yeah. They have no idea.
Friends were like, I think you should do it. And I'd hand them like, okay, terrifying.
That's what's up.
So there's a lot of that culture here. Like, and like I said, it is. I don't want to sound like it's, but it is a.
You can sound like it. That's what I want to do.
It is an
It's
experience.
bigger than just the music. There's so much more to us as a
Well,
right?
the music, the quality of music, and the way we run the crew is a product of the quality of the people that come in. It's like a circle, right?
For sure. And we all feed each other, right? Because now we're following, we're supporting, but then you're helping give these performances that gets us to come back.
Look, John Popper about Scramble. I know those guys from East Coast when they started. I was over with jam band in New York scene. But he said something really cool that I've always carried with me. He said, it's a feedback loop. Sometimes the feedback loop is just an audience with the band, but other times the feedback loop is everything coming together. And that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's like a field of generation. Like a,
Well, and there's so many pieces, right? And that's what's so cool is like, I always say energy attracts, right? And so we're super lucky. I feel so blessed because some people come into my life and they're like, oh, hey, and they get me to this next point. But with this community, we are, like you said, it's a weave, right? We are so intertwined. The degrees of separation of who knows who from who and what, we are so close. So if you're a fucking idiot acting like an idiot, it catches up real quick and you'll get caught out.
yeah, you know, as far as the biggest change, I think it is that they carry those values all through.
Yeah.
And it's still.
Well, because there is a moral compass,
But
right?
then there's also innovation too. There are things that we're doing now in the modern, last 10 years here that Fred Shellman never thought of.
Yeah.
And it's increased our experience with you. But it's so cool to see people like Sam Bush. You know, I don't see Sam as this big performer. He's just a buddy that's here every year. I get to hang out with him and see all these amazing people.
Well, it's wild because when you get the opportunity to be back here and see what's going on, it doesn't matter if it's Sam Bush or Bela Fleck or any of these like idols, right?
Right.
They're just people, and they're just chatting, they're just bullshitting like anyone, like you and I are talking.
Right.
They're out there talking with their friends, and it's super cool, and that's why I am so grateful for getting that opportunity to be part of it, right? And like I don't want to be the loud, obnoxious person that I am. Because I don't want to lose that chance, but to even like hear some of these conversations and chat with some of these people just a little bit, it's so cool, right? And for me, it's like, hey, I already love this place as a whole, and now the deeper you get into it and you start seeing more of the inner workings and the people behind the scenes, that's really what makes it and what gives us this foundation.
The dishwasher, up to stagehand or skiff, everybody's.
Well, and they all give a shit.
They believe in the bigger picture here.
Yeah.
And you just don't run into the attitude on the crew here that, oh, I'm here for fun. So,
Yeah.
like, all right, I get it. You're a hard worker, but you're not. Everyone's hard.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
It's just me. It's insane. I think about all the crews. Marcus's kitchen crew, the security guy is dealing with everybody in the box office is constantly trying to figure out what this thing. Like certain jobs I could never do here. I really respect everybody's.
That's where like
their contribution.
people give. I mean, it's always like instant gratification, right? But I don't think people really realize how many folks go into this. How many people are so dedicated to making this happen, and like for everything that happens, there's like barely any blips on the radar where I'm like, wow, this is a shit show, right?
Yeah, we don't, the shit show factor. I mean, yeah, there's always things that happen.
Yeah, there's gonna be an oh shit moment, like, fuck,
We
right?
always joke, like, somehow there's a magical vortex transition between all the gear that makes it to Telluride and makes it here. Like, where is stuff?
Yeah.
We got to sort it out, but.
Oh, I saw the shed. I saw the shed, Eric.
Yeah,
Okay?
you saw the shit. Well, you are getting.
Yes.
You don't want to know how all the sausage is made.
No, you don't. Because somebody's like, hey, I need to go find this. And he popped open that door. I was like, good fucking
Well, that's where me and Rhett's art form. We kind of know where things are.
Well, that's organized chaos. My wife was always like, your office looks like this, right? And I'm like, ask me what you need and I can find where it is in that chaos. Like, don't move that around. But that's what's beautiful. It's like the interweaving of personalities, work ethic, all this stuff
It all comes together.
to put it all together. And that's why it's so cool because realistically, this is what, the 52nd year of RockyGrass. Telluride's on what, 54?
Yeah.
54 is next year. Yes, you're right. But it's crazy because it's half a century, right? And
It's I'm only a couple years older than that.
and that's what's cool is like I brought my girls to all these, but on the 50th I brought them. We took a picture and I said, hey, look, in 50 years you're going to be able to bring your kids, your family, and you can tell them I was at the 50th and I'm at the 100th. Mom and Dad aren't going to be here with you when that 100th comes.
Here.
Yeah.
Here in spirit.
I will be, I mean, my dust will be here somewhere, but that's where it's cool is like, there's so many people that have put so much time into this, and even after they're gone, there is still that rich history.
Absolutely, there's resiliency and energy is still here.
And that's what's so amazing. So Eric, the last thing I want to say is, what would you tell folks who love bluegrass music, who have never made a Telluride or a RockyGrass?
Well, I think it's worth going. You know, I mean, Telluride alone is where they have to get to, and the place it's special because of.
I mean, even you trusting the hill, and then you see it, and you're like,
And you tend to be going there. You can't drive through Telluride.
Yeah.
And so that's a level of commitment. I would say be prepared for all seasons when you go to Colorado.
and that's another thing that's wild is like Telluride is way colder because of the higher elevation. Like I was sweating in my tent. Normally I am like bundled up, cold as shit in Telluride.
I
Unless
love
I'm
it, that elevation.
Yeah, so then you're used to it, but there is a big balance. But so, like Eric said, you guys need to get out here. You need to come.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is when you see people with a radio, when you see people with a volunteer, thank them. Because none of this would happen without people like you.
Big machine. And like I said, it's a loop, right?
Yep.
It takes the attitude of everybody that's here at Jazz, too. But it is, I feel really honored to be a part of it. And I kind of look around sometimes and I'm just like, this is just an amazing team. And I've been at some shit shows. I remember there were times with Salmon, we get off that damn bus at a festival and we're like, all right, we're going to do our set and we're getting the heck out of here. We're going to grab a case of water and get on the road.
Everyone's gone.
But here you see a lot of bands play one night and then like all
weekend.
Tunnel's band will be here all weekend.
Yeah, it's wild.
So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff going on. So yeah, get out there and see live music, you know, and buy stuff from the bands direct. That's really
Merch.
key.
I always say buy merch. Go see local music.
Man.
If you want some of your local bands to get in, either at the amateur contest or get on the bill, you have to let us know. We don't know about these small bands if you don't help promote them. But I'm going to let Eric get back to work.
All right.
You guys will see more of us. I can't thank you enough, brother.
Brother, pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you all out there. Be well and treat each other kindly. We need more of that.
Let's go.